We are back. Exciting times. Yeah, gonna hold off to do my match reaction to the Everton game. Great victory, by the way, obviously. Yes, if you just came in here because it's the Arsenal Tottenham Watchalong of the North London Derby, and I am the Mr. Archer wearing my Everton gear. Just decided I was going to get up here and just keep watching. Great victory from Everton earlier. People are going to stop in, they're going to see what's going on, and then they're going to leave because I got my Everton stuff on, but I'm just a football lover. A couple of the viewers from my previous stream and people that are always on the community part of my channel wanting to stop in for the North London Derby, so rather than sitting here in silence and watching it, well, my favorite red, Pepper Red, is back, fresh sub. How you feeling, man? How you feeling? Oh, I got myself a orange vanilla Coke here. Yeah, still buzzed after that victory over Wolves, fifth in the table for right now. I don't think that'll change with this game, will it? Take a quick look here. Let's take a look. No, because Arsenal are on 6 points, so if Arsenal win, they'll go to 9 points, so we'll go down to 6th. Tottenham win, they'll go to 7. That goal difference will probably put them above us. So, we kind of hope for a draw here, but I don't think we're going to get a draw. There's no way. Well, not we, but I don't think there's going to be a draw because that would put them on 7. If it's a 1-1, they'll go above us on. No, if it's a draw, either way, but no, well, we're 5th for right now. Oh, about to roll yourself a biff, huh? I was thinking about getting some of that done. And I've had my coffee, I've had my breakfast pizza, I've got my orange vanilla Coke here, but could be tempted, but it's still a long, long day ahead. What time is it over there for you? It's about, almost 4:30 in the afternoon. You got stuff accomplished today. You came off a victory yesterday. You're probably feeling good. Oh yeah, I definitely think the Arsenal are going to win this game. The Kelly Clarkson show. Wow, she put on a lot of meat. Wow, nothing wrong with that though. I like a little bit of jiggle, but I should really go have something, but celebratory. That's right. Haven't had much to celebrate over. Well, I guess the win away at Lincoln was, expected, but the Villa game, just thinking about it. The Watford win wasn't that great, and then the draw at Palace. Should we celebrate? Do we celebrate like this? Yeah, I think you're right. I'm not going to do it on stream, but you know what? Pep, Red, just for you, I don't want to leave you alone with your enjoyment, so I will go partake, and I will be right back. I'm going to the bathroom, everybody. Oh. Junkie. Come on, man. Something. Come on. Yeah, don't be shy, guys. I mean, if you're here for to listen to an Evertonian talk about the Arsenal Spurs game, I'm totally fine with that. And by the way, no, not a junkie. It's not like I shot up in my arm or something, man. I'll put anything up my schnoz. Is it? Come on, man. But yeah, people might be turned off. Might just be me and you, Pep, watching these Euro banter clubs get it on. But teams are coming out about 2.5 minutes till kickoff. Let's hope it's an exciting game like the Everton game was earlier. Lots of goals, lots of drama, lots of back and forth, lots of chances. You know, let's see what we're going to be doing. I gotta watch these American commercials again. Sprint commercials. Emirates is a nice stadium though, isn't it? It really is. Well, Arsenal's cheerleaders, they have cheerleaders? I thought only like Crystal Palace had cheerleaders. Oh, they wear stewardesses uniforms like for like Fly Emirates airplanes and all that stuff. Okay, no, that makes sense. I haven't seen them. Where are they at? The stewardess. What's going on? Isn't Pochettino already crying to the fourth official? Already? Come on. Alright, let's see what's going to happen today then. You know, that is a little classy. It's better than the short skirts and the tight tops and the pom-poms and all that. I mean, we get enough of that over here. You got cheerleaders for everything. You got middle school cheerleaders, you know, elementary school cheerleaders, college cheerleaders, cheerleaders for everything, for hockey, for gymnastics, for lacrosse, for golf, cheerleaders all over the place. Yeah, no, I think it is too. Like it's one of those things that, you know, just seems to be something else that's been Americanized that doesn't fit into certain other cultures and certain other demographics around the world. Some people just want to come and watch the football. Well, I mean, they need to be more inclusive too, right? Because everywhere in America now, you have to have male and female cheerleaders. So I must have missed out. I can go back and rewatch the intro to this game, but I don't know if I saw any male stewardesses all dressed up. So it's a little intolerant and not equal on Arsenal's behalf, right? Okay, here we go. Arsenal already got a throw in with Kolasinac. Nah, I didn't want to see either of these teams come out of a back three. I mean, what's the point? Well, Pep, they might be a little bit suspect. It's not my cup of tea. Oh, that was a beautiful back flick. Arsenal already on the attack. Comes into Pepe. Pepe over the bar. That's a decent move down the left side there by Arsenal. But, I mean, you know, it's not fair for us, you know, males just to get all the, the joy out of watching scantily clad people or professionally dressed people, athletes or whatever, dancing around and enjoying themselves. Like, women need their beefcake too, and men need their male beefcake, and oh, Harry Kane loving it. Oh, no, it's already out of there. Yeah, I mean, but at the end of the day, in this day and age, with the way the world is, it doesn't matter what's best or what people want. There's always going to be somebody getting upset that not everyone is included. So, in an ideal world, right, for most people, you'd have like a group of like 6 cheerleaders, and one of them would be white, one of them would be black, one of them would be Asian, one of them would be, you know, Nordic or something like that. Some of them would be, you got to have 6 different demographics, and then one of them would have to be, you have to have a lesbian, a gay male, a heterosexual male, a gender fluid male or female. So you have to keep splitting it up. You'd have to have, probably one that has like an amputated limb or has some disfigurement, so they can be included. And so you got to include everybody. So some people might say all female cheerleaders are the way to go, but not in this day and age anymore. And yes, I'm being very cynical and sarcastic, but I live in a country that's built and made on not hiring people or getting people into positions based on merit or skill or hard work, but basically circumstances that were beyond your control when you were born. So I see it all the time. But anyways, back to the football. Luis to Guendouzi, I'm going to get those two confused all season because of their little sideshow bob hairstyles. Of course it's full of snowflakes. I mean, that's the whole thing, right? But yeah, that's what people want, and because we have, armed, deadly weapons such as Twitter and Reddit and, WhatsApp and Instagram. Like, it's easy for companies or people to make it look like they've got a huge amount of support and a huge amount of indignant people complaining about something when they really don't, because a whole bunch of Twitter and all that, it's all fake accounts. It's all made to look the way it is. Oh, I like Arsenal's kit this season. It looks it's just something about it that doesn't look tacky and doesn't look horrible. Ooh, cross to the back post of Pepe. Didn't quite get there. But yeah, this is all Arsenal so far. Sissoko's just hoofing it up the park, not even going to try and play out from the back. Kolasinac, oh, here we go, another corner. Kolasinac looking sharp down this left-hand side. He looks up for it today. It does look classic, that's the right word. But Kolasinac, he's got his hair all slicked back, and he's got the frosted flakes on his hair. So I mean, he's edgy. He's looking edgy. He's looking trendy. He's looking hip. And he's also looking like he's up for the game. Jeez. Ball in. Oh, comes out edge of the box. Ooh. Maitland-Niles just slammed it in there, but it looked like Harry Kane got in the way. That was a decent strike, though. I'll tell you that much. So they're kind of going to think this game's going to be won in the center of the park, because you've got Torreira, Guendouzi, and Xhaka in there, along with Eriksen, Sissoko, and Winks. So we'll see who wins that battle. Eriksen could do a lot in this game to. Son coming down the outside, ball into the box. David Luiz clears it away. That's good. Kolasinac and Ozil have beef. Oh yeah. And you're obviously talking about the knife wielding motorcyclist. I mean, like the amount, how common that is over in the UK is mind boggling to me. I mean, I live in America, so we've got gun crime and gun ownership and all that up the wazoo, but you know, these knife crimes, you wouldn't have. I'll just tell you this: you wouldn't have as many knife crimes, and people wouldn't be using knives to try and do it if people were actually allowed to own guns over there and carry them openly. But that's beside the point again, anyways. But yeah, they do. But Kolasinac, he didn't give a fuck, did he, right? Ozil and his missus got into the van, and Kolasinac just coming over there, put up your dukes. Come on, son, put up your dukes. But yeah, he handled that. They look like some pretty sharp knives, too. I mean, but for what I saw and what I hear, I've still got peeps over there that live there. Especially, they some live in London, some couple live in Birmingham, some back where I used to live up in Derbyshire. I know some people there, and like that's all it is, right? It's people. Someone's driving around in a Lexus, in a Bentley, in a Beamer, Mercedes, Jaguar, whatever, and so somebody gets some little Ute. Or maybe older people too, but most Utes, because they got nothing to do. They put their little motorcycle mask on, they get the machete, and they tuck it in, and they get on their moped, and they drive around and follow somebody in a really nice car, because they know they've got money. And then they go to the bank, or they go to the store, or they go shopping, or whatever, and then they come outside, and they're faced with some Utes on a motorcycle with masks on and machetes, and they say, give me your watch, give me your purse, give me your wallet, give me your bling, give me whatever. And then if they don't, they just give them a little slash, and if they do, they go on and do it to somebody else. It's ridiculous. But crime is what it is. It's always kind of pathetic and lame. Anyways, back to the game. Yeah, again, Dewsey's getting a lot of the ball early on. He plays out to the right. Maitland-Niles out on the right. Got all the time in the world. Again, Dewsey trying to take on some players today, but slowed up by Ericsson. Pepe's coming kind of way to the back to pick up the ball. Evertonian TV, mate, how was the game? I was here, I was live streaming, 3-2, I'll just type. Ooh, no decent opportunity for Lacazette there. Just didn't quite pull it off. But yeah, Evertonian TV. Pepper red meet blue. Pepper's a good guy. We're having lots of decent conversations, talking lots of football, talking lots of other things. So get along. He's not super arrogant. He's not got a little bit of banter, but it's nice, playful banter. So just get along. Oh, Lamela plays it in. Oh, that's 1-0. Wow. Ericsson taps it in. Lino spills it all over the place, just emptied his guts all over the 6-yard box. So what even happened? Long ball out the back from the Reese. Just up in the air, just sitting in the air. Kane wins over two of their players. Son gets time to turn, plays in Lamela. Lamela, simple shot. I mean, that's an easy... Oh, come on. That is poor. Very, very, very poor from... See, this is what we were talking about, right? Pepper Red, like... Arsenal, absolutely suspect at the back. I mean, you can have Pepe, you can have Lacazette, you can have Aubameyang, you can have Ozil, you can have all these other Mkhitaryan, you can have all these offensive players that are decent, but if you're a goalkeeper and you've got Socrates and David Luiz, at the back, always suspect. positioning, tactical awareness, spatial awareness just doesn't exist. Bunch of shithawks at the back of Arsenal. I say, are you sure Poch and Dan Levy didn't just pay Leno just to spill that to Ericsson? Like, if Sissoko would have been running on to the end of that, or if Harry Kane would have been running on to, the end of that, maybe Leno wouldn't have just given it to him, but it just seems that Poch and Levy were like, hey, take a couple of bags of gold. If you see Ericsson's coming in, we're trying to make him stay. We're trying to make him happy. We're trying to, convince him to sign a new contract. So if you could just gift him a goal, settle everything down, everyone's happy, everyone's got a smile on their face, just do what you can. And then Leno's just like, here you go, Ericsson, here, have this. Because it wasn't a stinging shot, it wasn't a difficult shot to take in and to your chest. He just parries it and spills it to Ericsson. I call suspicious activity on that. Actually, I really do. Oh, I think when I saw David Luiz play there for, I think it was under Conte, or it might have been even under Mourinho. I thought he was a decent CDM. Can ping a ball, can ping a pass, can break up play. But I still think that goal was suspect. Secret agent Leno. And Kolasinac just goes and embarrasses himself by falling over absolutely nothing, but wow. Well, they're just picking them apart now. Heung-min Son, look at that. That's too easy. Son to Lamela, back to Son. I mean, they're just passing it around like crazy and having a good time. Yeah, Arsenal not started this game well. They were like the first couple of minutes, but every time Tottenham go forward, they look dangerous. This hilarious. That's not out of play, but oh, excuse me. Oh, excuse me. I'm so sorry. That's disgusting. I'm sorry. I apologize. That's vulgar display for a content creator in a streamer. But yeah, look at that. That's easy. What is Leno's problem? I mean, they didn't even Xhaka and Socrates didn't even try and challenge Harry Kane there. That was just piss poor physicality and defending. But then for Son to be allowed to turn and run into space, and then even to not have everybody follow the. Okay, Trey, here we go. To Lacazette, looking for Aubameyang. I know it's not. I'm not saying you guys are snowflakes that you can't handle a burp, but like, I didn't even feel that one coming. Just too much that sodium and the bubblies in my orange vanilla Coke that just thought I was just hanging out by myself. Oh, Ericsson again, decent shot, but. Yeah. This isn't really even a high tempo end-to-end game. It's just you take possession, I take possession, a whole bunch of passes, and then one pass goes astray, and the other team just hoofs it up and tries to get a breakaway. I mean, it's good for the neutral. It's good for me. It's good for Pep. Like we watched our teams win and play the style of football and show character and give us what we want from our respective teams. But so far, Arsenal. If I was an Arsenal supporter, I'd be pretty angry and pissy right now about the way my team's defending, because it's just a constant. Yeah, no, I mean, nice and steady. I mean, I'm down for that, but you know, both teams obviously need to come out and win this. Tottenham have what, 4 points? Arsenal have 6 points. So I mean, this is more of a must-win for. I mean, for both teams. Tottenham to climb up the table and not look like they're scrubs to get some confidence, and then Arsenal because nothing like beating your rivals at home, climbing up the league, having 9 points. So, both teams need to win this, but they can't both win it, obviously. So, I mean, a draw would, for as an Evertonian, I think a draw would be fantastic for us. Just for looking at the table and being like, oh yeah. Maitland-Niles in there. Oh, Pepe, no. Oh, it's a scramble. It's a scramble. But no clinical finishing there to get out of it. Ericsson pops it up in there. And see, here we go again. The Sun's away. 2-on-2 is a 3-on-3. Ooh, Son with that shot. That was decent. I mean, Socrates is such a poor defender. Seriously. Just like he's slow, he's not mobile enough to get across side to side, and his reaction to everything is just sliding in, and a slow slide in at that. It's kind of ridiculous. But we all know that Arsenal's defense is shite. If they didn't have Lacazette and Aubameyang last season, I don't think they'd have finished in the top six. And this season, I don't think they'll do very much at all. Even with that front three, like it's too vulnerable at the back, and there's no solutions. I mean, their keeper's suspect. Their playing out from the back is suspect. David Luiz always got a mistake in him. Socrates, Floppadopoulos, whatever his name is. Don't rate them. And I wouldn't take any Arsenal defenders in the Everton defense. Nope, not even as a backup, not even as a third choice. Well, maybe where is he? 1 second. Oh yeah, I remember Per Mertesacker, German player. Yeah, no, I mean he's on the coaching squad now, right? He just retired, but yeah, I mean I would possibly take Callum Chambers. I think he'd be an upgrade on Holgate in the grand scheme of things. I think he can play right back and he can play centre back. So Callum Chambers, I'd probably take out their defense, but he can't even get a start in this team. But yeah, I just don't know how a team can go so long and so many transfer windows and not address and constantly bring in players like Urzo, Mkhitaryan, Lacazette, Aubameyang, Pepe, midfielders, Xhaka, Torreira, Guendouzi. They let players like Ramsey just go out the door for free, and then they don't address the at least the centre back situation, like right backs and left backs, Bellerin, Socrates, Monreal, over the years, Gibbs over the years. Decent players, but centre backs, who have they had? Rob Holding, Callum Chambers, Mertesacker, Koscielny. Now they got Socrates, David Luiz. Like it's not, none of those have ever been world class. Holgate the racist, huh? Well, all depends on where you're standing. All depends on what laws you want to apply. All depends on a lot of things. So again, Socrates just right to the ground, sliding in, and almost got counterattacked on because no idea where he was sending that ball, no idea where he was kicking it to, just sliding in, hoping for something to happen. I mean, you slide in to win a 50-50 and you don't win it that well and it only goes 5 yards before the run, you're still on your ass by the time the ball's gone back past you. Really? That's a foul? See, that was happening to Richarlison all day. That was happening to lots of Everton players against Wolves today, and that wasn't even deemed a foul. But no, of course. It's just because Torreira's a little shit. Arsenal's kind of chanting, if you've won the league, stand up. Oh yeah, no, I remember that. But that's one of those things too. I remember the whole Patrice Evra, Luis Suarez thing, and all that, where a certain term in English, but when it's said in Brazilian Portuguese, or it's said in Uruguayan, or whatever it's said in. Oh, Pepe with the house, a great piece of defending by Danny Rose. That's great defending. But yeah, people like to use the ists and the ism words, way too much. And most of the time, people are just looking to get offended. Don't get me wrong, there is racism and sexism and, xenophobia and all these things in the world. But, a lot of it, stereotyping is different than, being a bigot and all things like that. So some people just take it way too overboard. Those things should be taken seriously, but I think some people are just looking to get offended a lot of the time. Let's check out my Saburu picks for the week. Why do some apps take forever to load up? Yeah, no, it's a crisis. Of course it's a crisis. How could it not be? Okay, not doing too badly. Yeah, no, I'm not impressed by Arsenal whatsoever so far. You can't help but be impressed. Well, not even be impressed with their front line. Like, their front line is good, so you expect them to do good things, but their build-up play is pretty shite and slow, and, their build-up play is easy for Tottenham to, if they win the ball back, to counter, because they're way out of position and way too far spread. But, that's just how it is. Alright, there's Pepe. That's a foul. Yeah, that's a foul. That was really clever by Lacazette. Yeah, of course, racing hard, but if Okay, let's just take this for example, right? Like if if Everton win a game of football, right, which they do, and they win 4-0, and I say, wow, they got beaten like a redheaded stepchild. Okay, I have red hair. I have freckles. I have pasty skin. Okay, so if I say, wow, they got beaten like a redheaded stepchild, and then somebody else goes, wow, yeah, like beaten like a redheaded stepchild, and I say, oh wow, look at you, you being racist. Look at you being stereotypical. Look at you being a bigot. Talking down about redheaded people. I've got red hair. I'm offended by that. So, but do I get to say it because I am a redhead, and somebody else doesn't get to say it because only redheads can say? If you get what I'm saying, like if I say it about myself, other people should be able to in my area say the same things. So like when people use the N word, or when people words, and people shouldn't be able to joke about, if a minority makes minority jokes, why is that okay, but I can't make the exact same joke about minorities? It's all kind of messed up in the air at the end of the day. Oh, Danny Rose, yellow card. So I just think there needs to be some either it's good for everybody to not to obviously be racist or be a bigot, but if one thing's okay to say as a certain group of people, but it's not okay for another certain group of people to say it, or it's like, oh, there's a special word within this type of community, then get all that shit out of here. If and it, yeah, of course, it comes down to intent. But a lot of people are willing to dish it out and say things, like people in America was like, oh, all white cops are, kill black people all the time. Like, they make generalizations, but then the stats and the statistics and all that don't back it up, and this and that. But if somebody comes back and says, well, did you know that a certain community commits more crimes on its own community than people of other communities do? People don't want to hear that. Like, people pick and choose what statistics and what facts they want to hear because it suits their agenda, right? So I'm just tired of all the agenda-driven stuff. So if somebody says, if I walk up to one of my friends and they say, hey Ben, what's up, my N-word, and they say that to me. So, oh well, hey, what's up, my N-word? So, well, dude, you can't say that. You can't be saying that. It's like if I say like blood, or I say, you get your clot peppered or stuff like, oh, dude, you're not an ethnic minority from North London. Like, you can't be saying pepper your clot. Like, you're not Jamaican. All this. So it's like, dude, you just said it in my presence, so I should get to say it too, because it means the same thing no matter where it comes from, right? So if you're using some urban slang, but I look like some suburban preppy, well-to-do guy, and I use the same term, like, you don't get to say, oh, well, you don't understand, you're not from my street, you're not from my community, you can't be saying this slang term, but I can't. Like, it all gets ridiculous at the end of the day. What's going on? Who is doing what's going on? And Danny Rose needs to calm down if he's on a yellow card. Well, 30 minutes already gone. This has been so boring compared to some of the games yesterday, and especially the one this morning. Wow. Join-ins. Ah. Let's take a look at that. Hey, what's going on, Jeff? Still buzzing for those 3 points, I'm assuming. Yeah, this game's boring and crap compared to that. Henry dresses like Trump. Oh, the medal's in the book too. Lots of Tottenham players getting in the book now. But, I mean, how many corners have Arsenal had and not haven't done anything? Jeff, come on, in hindsight. Oh, if you watch able to watch a game, yeah. I mean, I watched all the games yesterday with uh, not a lot of no issues, but this game I don't really care. So I hope it's a draw. So that's 2 points. Each team's lost. With us on the case now that we're just tearing up the table, obviously. Yeah, like whenever the top six teams play, I want to see draws, 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 draws. Now look at Xhaka just fouling people all over the place. Guys, Xhaka and Socrates, like the spine of this Arsenal team is absolutely crap. Leno suspect in goal, two centre backs. Always got a mistake in them. Not really that mobile, not really that aware of what's going on. Then you got Xhaka in the middle of the park. I mean, there are so many liabilities in this team. It's almost embarrassing. But like, who would I from the Arsenal team? Who would I actually take in the Everton team right now? Obviously, I'd take Pepe, Lacazette, and possibly Aubameyang. But who else on that in that Arsenal team would I take? Not Xhaka, not Torreira. That's. See, look at Socrates hitting the floor again. Willock, no. Ozil, no. I wouldn't take Ozil. I wouldn't take Mkhitaryan. And then the back line, like I said, the only person I'd probably take is Callum Chambers. It's on their bench because you can't even get a game for them. So that's it. Three attackers and wouldn't take any of them. I mean, come on, Red. You've got to wear the red tie if you're going to represent Arsenal. What do you want him to come out and have a white tie on? Oh, for Liverpool, it's a little different. Yeah, I mean, of course you would take Pepe in your team, probably. But what? Is Pepe better than Mane? Or you take him as like a squad player? I mean, you've got a lot of people going forward, mate. Salah, Firmino, who I fucking love Firmino, by the way. So Firmino, Salah, Mane, Oxlade-Chamberlain, Lallana, Shaqiri. Like, how many forward-thinking players do you actually need? I'd have Son, I'd have Eriksen, I'd have Harry Kane, obviously. Oh, I know, that's what I'm saying. Mane's the daddy. I mean, he's got a little pissy yesterday, though, but that's all right. That just shows desire. See, look at that. Leno just spilled it again. Leno is suspect. Told you, Agent Leno, man. Somebody must have paid him something. That's what I was saying earlier, Jeff. Like, I can't believe they just go out and buy so many high-priced, high-earning midfielders and attackers and don't even bother to replace or even bringing decent quality center backs. It's fucking disaster. Yeah, it's just too congested in there. Tottenham just sitting around waiting for that. Oh, excuse me again. Son on the ball again. I say Ericsson and Son have been given way too much space. That's a foul on Lamella. I'd say this is kind of boring. I have to admit, there's a lot of quality on shot. There are a lot of really good players, but it's just not coming together. It's more, this game's been more based on being exciting because of mistakes, like a lost ball in the midfield, a turnover in the final third, and another team counter-attacking. Fucking Bernard Leno, fucking con man. No, Ericsson, that was a cracker right there, but Leno actually saved that. See, Leno can punch stuff away and parry, but I don't think he can catch. Oh, look at Winks just turning Maitland-Niles inside. Son plays off. Oh, that's a penalty. Penalty to Tottenham. West Ham, I mean, I think they look good too. I mean, I'm not one of those that's going to cry about them getting Seb Haller over us, because I think in the long term, I think Ken will turn out to be a great player. They look decent, but again, I think that they look a little vulnerable at the back. But we'll have to see. They've had some hit or miss this season so far. But I want to see them against one of the top teams. Well, I guess they did play Manchester City, but that opening day stuff. But oh yeah, Yarmolenko tore us apart last season. All right, Harry Kane. Two 0. Beautiful penalty. Never a doubt. Not with Harry. Not with old Harry. I mean, see, Harry Kane doesn't fuck around when it comes to penalties, man. Like, he is. Yep. So you see morons, or I shouldn't say morons, but you see arrogant bastards like Pogba thinking that he's so cool and so unique that he has to do a 50-step little tappy, 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 tappy. But no, what I mean, and people trying to pull it too wide, or people trying the chips and all this stuff. And Harry Kane just head down, foot over the ball, in the corner every time. It's unstoppable. You're not going to stop that. Arsenal fan TV. Yeah, oh yeah. Oh, if it holds up, I can't wait to see what DT has to say. I can't wait to see what Don Robbie and Troops have to say. Back again. But yeah, I'm sure Troops and Claude and all that, they'll be all over it. Yep, Claude will be having a fucking right go. See Kelechi singing the songs. Like I said, DT, Troops, Don Robbie, everyone. Oh, here we go. But I mean, that's why I watch the other fan channels. Well, I guess I only watch two other fan channels. I watch United Stand and I watch Arsenal Fan TV. Full-time Devils and all that, get that out of here. I don't watch any Chelsea. I don't watch any. I watch a little bit of Tottenham, just because for the expressions. But other than that, no, I don't watch any Manchester City fan channels. No, real Tottenham fan channels. No Chelsea. You know. People coming out and saying that Arsenal were going to win 3-1. What did I predict for this game? I predict like 2-2, I think. Actually. What did I say? Oh, I said 2-1 Arsenal. Oopsie. That's not going to happen unless Arsenal come back and win 3-2 and I get a point and a half. Oh, yeah, no. I mean, okay, Pepperhead, expressions is funny, but how many times do I have to hear Demway's there? You know Demway's there. Ganduzi on the boy, you know Demway's there. All the way out to Maitland-Niles. Maitland-Niles takes under control. Oh, he's going to cross it in. You know Demway's there. Demway's there, blood. Demway's there. Oh, Pepe, see, that's how a goalkeeper. That's a real goalkeeper. Hugo Lloris. Save, parry, right on top of it. You know Demway's there. I guess I was talking about top six. No, I do watch True Geordie. Jeff, I really like the interview with Ian Wright, with Alan Shearer. He does have a lot of good stuff on there, and I like how like brutally honest and raw and unfiltered he is. But no, I think the True Geordie's great. And I even watched some of the True Geordie stuff for boxing and UFC and all that stuff. So yeah, I apologize for leaving that True Geordie. Because it can't be easy being a Newcastle supporter. You know, sometimes we look at our club and say, "Oh, being an Evertonian, being an Everton supporter is hard days." But no, being a Newcastle supporter can't be that easy either. Well, that was always going Road Z from Sissoko there, wasn't it? Yep, the Robbie Williams one was brilliant too. Yep, I agree with that. But yeah, not to steal a phrase, but Arsenal getting their clot-peppered blood. Clot-peppered blood. You know Demway's there. No, Joe Rogan. I really enjoy Joe Rogan also. He's just got such an eclectic, different person on, eclectic and wide, varied selection of people he has on. You know, sometimes he has on James Hetfield from Metallica. Sometimes he's got Jake the Snake Roberts on from wrestling. Bernie Sanders is on there. Other things on there: doctors, physicians, astronomers. Alex Jones goes on there. I always have Jesse Ventura on there. Like, there's so many different people that go on the Joe Rogan show, and each one's interesting and informative in its own way. And I think Joe is very good at what he does as a podcast. I mean, it'd help if you're doing a podcast and you can. If I guess I get up here with a bottle of fine whiskey and the finest marijuana in the world, and just sit there and smoke and toke and drink and laugh and joke and giggle and have a good time and not have any repercussions from it. You know, Elon Musk, we also the Elon Musk one with, guy getting all high off his ass there. It's another great save by Lloris. Lacazette's in. 2-1. Lacazette. You mean Hot Ones, Jeff? Yes, Hot Ones is amazing. The Gordon Ramsay one is amazing. The Tenacious D one is amazing. Steve Austin one from the end of the past season was amazing. Like I think that's a great show. It really is. Basic concept, but it doesn't really get tiring because if you ever really like hot food and you've ever really been taken by surprise for how hot something can get so quickly and how it disrupts everything, your blood, the way you think, your mental capacity, your ability to function as a human being, the things that come out of your mouth, being full of spicy food and having that type of heat that gets to you, like it almost makes you like you're drunk or that you're high. Like the Kevin Hart one. There's lots of them you could name, but some people just lose their shit when they've got too much hot food inside of them. They just can't handle it. Heart's pumping, heart's pumping. Oh, I'm sweating bullets, sweating bullets. Okay, that's half time. Okay, I gotta go to the bathroom. It's halftime. It's 2-1 Arsenal. It's a byproduct symptom of once having gills. Who once had gills? Humans once had gills? Really? Like the like Deep from The Boys has got the gills down here on our ribs. See, here we go, Robbie Earl talking out of his ass again. Well, not talking out of his ass, but just constantly being, oh, well. Oh, they bought in attackers. Oh, they bought in this to look good going forward. Nobody cares if you look good going forward. You know, if you can't do shit at the back, it's not really that big of a deal. I guess I should maybe, while we're down, see what you guys are up to. But I'm also going to start on my... I'm going to do a match reaction. Going to do it for Toffee TV, I guess, again today. And then for... and my own personal one. Oh, I mean, you know, most of the people they've got on NBC Gold or NBC in general, I don't really trust. Like Robbie Mustoe, Robbie Earl, Kyle Martino, you know. Yeah, no, we're looking good. See, people think this is funny, but it's like, the thing is, like, this guy's got a small miniature horse, and it's like his emotional support miniature horse, and he's like supposed to be like 20, 21 years old, and I mean, I understand stuff's supposed to be funny, but yeah, no, ESPN's not that great either. Like, you know, Steve Nicol. I mean, I like Steve Nicol. I think he's kind of comes off as kind of a know-nothing moron sometimes, but he knows his football. So no, Steve Nicol, you know, complete legend. And then who else you got? You got Shaka Hislop, who just seems that he's trying to fill out some ethnic diversity thing for people. And then you've got Craig Burley, who didn't really do much in his career, and he's just Scottish. So you got two Scottish up there. You've got Shaka Hislop. You've got one of the cheesy presenters, and you've got Alejandro Moreno. And then some of their journalists are good. I'm not going to get that. Yeah, Jeff, it's a miniature horse. It's like, so it's some commercial for renter's insurance from an insurance agency. But it's got like this kid with like long hair, glasses. He looks kind of goofy and all this, and he's sitting in the middle of the floor, looking like he's in some Zen pose, and he's stroking his emotional support horse, and it's called like Sebastian or something, and he tries to have the miniature horse go get his computer. It's just weird. I just don't think there's that much content on the ESPN shows. Like, everyone's trying to be like witty and funny, and like, and the analysis just isn't really like that, because Steve Nicol's kind of just like blasé, like Liverpool are the best, and here's why everyone else is shit. And then Craig Burley just comes off as like a negative Nelly, most of the time. The presenter's always trying to be funny. I mean, they have good guests on there for journalists. They've always got like, Julian, I forget what his name is, the Max guy from Germany. Who's the kind of froggy looking dude that's usually up there. And they have Ian Dark on there sometimes. So, I mean, they have decent journalists on there, but I think there's way too many journalists. I mean, a lack of journalists coming onto these shows and actually talking some sense. Like, I usually watch the Sunday Supplement on Sky Sports sometimes, and it's different to get a different take on stuff from journalists with stats, statistics, with the ins and outs. But some of these presenters, especially on like Soccer AM and sometimes on Sky Sports, like it's so biased and it's so based on feeling, and I think, and what do you see? What do the stats say? What does the statistics say? And even Neville and Carragher are pretty decent at doing that, but sometimes you can tell their bias gets in the way. Gab Marcotti, yes, Gabriel Marcotti, yeah. Thank you for that. Yeah. I mean, see, the thing is, like, at least on BT and on Sky Sports, at least when like stuff comes up. I mean, Steve Nicholls got a decent amount of accolades to his name, right? But like Shaka Hislop, what were you? You were a goalkeeper for what, Newcastle and Portsmouth, and you represented Trinidad and Tobago in a World Cup. Like your level of knowledge at playing at the highest level and all that just really doesn't exist. Craig Burley, won an FA Cup with Chelsea, represented Scotland. I think played in a Scottish team squad for the World Cup. Like, their accomplishments aren't exactly that great, and the presenters they have on there don't really know. Oh, of course, Nev and Cara were less than friends, should we say, as players. But as pundits, I think they're pretty decent. A lot of snowflake Manchester United supporters always get on Gary Neville's case and he's being too negative, or he's da-da-da. But I think he talks a lot of sense when it comes to especially Manchester United issues. Yeah, so it just makes me wonder why ESPN would either, because ESPN can pay money. If you've seen all the I mean, they have like college football shows, college baseball shows, female college softball shows with presenters. So they've got enough money to hand decent contracts out and appearance fees. But ESPN, why you would have Craig Burley, Steve Nicol, and Shaka Hislop, but only people that maybe want to move to America and live in Connecticut. Maybe that's the only ones you can get. But I could think of 1,000 better pundits and presenters that ESPN could have. I will agree with that. I'm not trying to start any beef. I'm not trying to start anything. But Graham Souness, what he like, the worst. I mean, Carragher, at least he's always like, well, of course I'm gonna, pull for Liverpool here. At least he's open about it. But Souness is just negative on every single thing any other club does. Especially negative on Manchester United, especially negative on Everton, especially negative on certain other teams that are either winning cups now or challenging for cups now. And I mean, he's just a sour, bitter old man. I don't see why. He's probably got a nice paycheck. He's got respect in the footballing community. Great player, great manager, all that stuff. I just don't see why he has to get up there and just be a complete twat all the time. I mean, when Jamie Redknapp's on there, or when other former Liverpool or big top six team people are on there, they're not all arrogant and like that. But just Graham Souness just drives me up the wall. Yeah, I got nothing but respect for Graham Souness as a player and as a captain, as a leader, as a manager. All that, I'm totally with that. But and I don't even mind people being biased. Like I said, Neville's biased, Cara's biased. Some of the people on the debate show and all that. People are going to have bias towards their clubs or clubs they had success at. That's a given fact. and I wouldn't expect anything less. But some people are just completely over the top with it. Jeff coming with some heat. Hey, no, I think Rio, yeah. I mean, and plus I can understand how some of these people come on every, how Mourinho came on for that 1 week for a big game. Like there needs to be, the presenter, and there needs to be a kind of a unbiased, unaffiliated, like co-host with them, and then there needs to be a player from either team. So let's just say, Everton play Liverpool, right? Okay, so and that's on Super Sunday or something. So you've got the main presenter, you've got a neutral person that works for Sky Sports. So you bring in a Rio, say you bring in bring in anybody, bring in an Alan Shearer, bring in a whatever, and then you have a Tim Cahill, and you have a Robbie Fowler, or you have a Jamie Redknapp, and you have a who else you want to put out? A Stephen Pienaar or somebody, But when you've got one Everton, just taking the Everton for example, one Everton former player Cahill, and then you stack in between Redknapp and Souness and a presenter that's obviously getting paid and been told to and hype Liverpool. You can't have a 3-on-1 attack all the time. Michael Owen. I mean, I was going to bring up Michael. That's why I didn't bring it up in the conversation with Shearer. And I mean, other people, comment on the World Cup. Like Michael Owen, so boring and pedantic and not any emotion whatsoever. Just it is sad. But Michael, a great player again. Another one, but you say great player. He won a lot of things. Did he win a lot of things? Been to many countries. Scored many goals, representing all that stuff. Michael Owen, absolutely fantastic player. Will be missed a lot. Terrible with the injuries, but that slowed down his career and made him have to change his game quite a bit. But as a pundit, no. Anyways, so back to this game. Lloris just made a huge mistake at the back and didn't get punished for it. Arsenal coming away now. Look at the counter attack, but the transition from Arsenal was just so slow. But okay, now we're going through Lacazette. Aubameyang through the middle. Lacazette, Kolasinac on the left. Overhit pass. Nope, managed to dig it out. But Torreira coming in at the far post. Socrates is such a chump. It's amazing. It really is amazing. Yeah, it's just too bad that Torreira was coming in at the far post. That's like Bernard coming in at the far post. Like the last person you want to have a header or this or that. I just passing out from the back again. I mean, I just don't understand the philosophy. I understand if like you pass it to your center back 5 yards away or so, and then you play out from the back. But that was just basically Lloris passed it to. Lloris just passed it to Vertonghen. Vertonghen passed it back to Lloris, and Lloris just hoofed it up the field. Like you can just hoof it up there anyway. No, the players weren't brought up. Nobody had pushed on 10, 15 yards for you to get behind. I just don't get it. I was actually watching some games from the early '90s, late '80s the other day. Watched a couple like Manchester United versus Chelsea, and just some games like that. And some of that tackling, boy oh boy, like Mark Hughes. Mark Hughes was a filthy, filthy player. I didn't really realize that. I mean, and you see some of the tackles that Roy Keane would put in, and Mark Hughes, and some of the ones that Vieira would put in, and fucking savages. A lot of them, absolute savages. I mean, I even watched a couple of the games when from some classics from back there. The old Newcastle Liverpool 4-3s from way back in the day with Ginola, Espria, games like that. But even some of those tackles and some of the stuff that went on there was just it makes you cringe, but not in like a millennial trendy way. Like it actually makes you cringe. Like I can't believe there weren't more careers ended back then, or maybe people were just tougher and they played through the pain and whatever. But still, like some of that play is just absolutely dirty, and not even a warning. That some of the stuff that you'd get a red card now for was just commonplace back then. If you came in from behind, double-footed tackle, but you had touched the ball before the player, play on, let's go. I mean, and to the point of where, I'm all about hard men football, don't get me wrong, but some of it was like blatantly vicious and reactionary. Like somebody would get the ball taken off them or get like nutmegged or, have something happen. Not a foul, not anything like that. Like, somebody be chasing around, like they'd be getting I saw one with Mark Hughes, where he basically, when it was against Chelsea, and he got it passed around him in like a triangle like twice, so he was like running, he's playing a game of keep away basically, playing what's that game there where everyone plays in training now? That makes sense for the game. Yeah, I get that, but and then he'd just get frustrated and then just fucking stamp down on the foot and warning like, don't lose your reg like that, Mark. But nowadays that'd be vicious, malicious intent, 3-game suspension, if not go into some, extra ban for intent and maliciousness and all that. It's, some of it's brutal back then. That Luis is so lackadaisical, like, that looked like panic stations right there with that through ball, but, like, Luis could have probably got there if he tried, a couple of, microseconds before that, but he just kind of casually just rolls on over, and then he tries to clear it and take it out, but with his feet, and it just bounces off the Tottenham player. Luckily, he comes back to Luis, and he plays it off like, I meant that the whole time. That's what Xhaka does, right? Just plays it out to the right, and then it all slows down. Like Xhaka's like a slightly younger, slightly better striker with the ball than like Morgan Schneiderlin. Like Xhaka is Arsenal's Morgan Schneiderlin. Does a job, but does a very basic job. And if he doesn't do that one simple job, again doozy, but no, saved by Lloris. Decent strike that. Probably should have put it to the other corner, but, He's a CDM. What do you really expect? Oh, flicked on. Arsenal knocking on the door now. How did he not get to that? Oh, yeah. I don't know if he'd have left that for Obama blood clot Yang. Yeah, no. No, nobody deserves to win. I mean, if I want anyone to win, oof. Now they're just peppering their clot now. You know, Denway's there. Yo, but that's what I'm all about, Jeff. Like in my poll, the Subaru picks that I do, at least, isn't that you do. I got 2-1 Arsenal. So if they win 3-2, I'll get the result and I'll get close. But I'd prefer it for an Everton point of view. And even though it's early in the season, yeah, I'd prefer a 2-2 draw. That's a yellow card for Eriksen. You can't kick the ball away like that, lad. Can't do that. Which I'm fine with. That's the type of thing that when we played Aston Villa, if Gomez or Bernard would have done that, not let them get the ball right away, slow the pace down, let us get back into our defensive shape, and if it's at the expense of a yellow card, that's what we should have done. So I think that's smart by Eriksen. I really do. Arsenal on the offensive, they've got the momentum. They want to take a free kick quickly with Tottenham's defense out of position. You hold the play up, right? So you get a yellow card, kick the ball away 10 yards, descent or whatever you want to call it, but it gives the players enough time to settle. So there needs to be more of that. Yeah, it's gamesmanship, but it's also smart thinking. Oh, here comes Dele Alli. Hey, you two, Jeff, Pepper Red. I don't rate Dele Alli. I haven't. I think he's been overhyped. I think he's overhyped because he's an English player. I think he's just like a Jesse Lingard. I think he's like a Marcus Rashford. I think when they perform and do well, when they're on their day, I think they're great players. But on average, day in, day out, week in, week out, I think they're way too overrated, and I think they're way too overhyped, way too overpaid, and don't have inside of them what it says on the can. Does not. No! Oh! Beautiful ball from Eriksen, and Kane just whacks at it and hits the post. That should have been 3-1. That's if Dominic Calvert-Lewin had 1/8 of the talent and skill and awareness and finishing ability than what Harry Kane did, we'd be set. Harry Kane is one. Now there's an English player that's not overhyped. Like Harry Kane, boy oh boy, amazing, amazing player. Well, I mean, Manchester United problems, like I said the last time I did a Watchalong, their problem is that they've got non-footballing owners and CEOs and all that, and they're all about marketing. They're all about profitability. That's what they're all about. Like they wanted to get the hype manager in. They wanted to get Moyes. Moyes is Moyes. I think for Moyes, they just wanted to replace Fergie with another Scottish person who Fergie gave the nod to pass the torch to. I think Van Gaal, because he got all hyped because of what he had won and the play style he had in Holland and in Spain and other places he had gone. I think they went with Mourinho because big name, winner on paper, but didn't realize that he's a checkbook manager. He comes in when a good team's in place. A previous manager builds the team, builds the squad, gets them into the top, and Mourinho takes advantage of that. So I think, and buying players like Pogba, buying players like Falcao, Di Maria, bringing in Zlatan, bringing in Schweinsteiger, like decent players, but they're just for selling shirts, right? They're not for looking at the team, what the team needs, how the team's fitted together and bonded, and tactics and strategy. It's just they're all hype. And that's detrimental to the team. You look at teams like Tottenham, look at other teams that build. Even look at Liverpool, for example. Salah, didn't do it at Chelsea, but then where did he go then? They bought him from Fiorentina, right? Eventually, he went somewhere else, I think. But Salah and Bobby Firmino, not your typical Brazilian player. Firmino, he's not Robinho. I mean, not Robinho. He's not Ronaldo. He's not Ronaldinho. He's not Fat Ronaldo. He's not Neymar. Not Richarlison. He's not your typical Brazilian, but he's an outstanding player. I think Bobby Firmino is one of the best in the league at what he does. Sadio Mane, played for Southampton, but was able to make the step up. Like they haven't bought any super high world class players into their team. That were like rejects from other clubs. They got rid of their one world class player and cashed in. Yeah, okay, yeah. Then Roma, yep. Then Reds. Thank you for that. But they got rid of Coutinho. Obviously sold Suarez. Like they have no problem getting off and selling players on. What you do with that money, with the Van Dijk, with the Alisson, with the Fabinho, Naby Keita. What about Naby Keita, Pepper? Is he injured or can he just not get in the team? And that's what Liverpool have basically done. And that's what you have to do in order to build a club. You get a manager that's high energy, high intensity. You get the crowd to buy into what's going on. You make the crowd and everything go together. People like the kit. They like the players. They like the signings. They do their promotional and then preseason early. They get involved in the fan channels and in the community. It's all part of the team and all part of the squad. But Manchester United, concentrate on the Asian market, and they want to go to Thailand and New Zealand and the Chinas, and they're just constantly and Pogba's got to go on his own little tour. Oh, Naby's injured right now. Okay, thanks. But yeah, and all they're worried about is a global brand. They want to get sponsored by Chevrolet, But look what it gets you. Look what it gets you when you don't have a director of football, which is an absolute it's criminal. Which is criminal, in my opinion, not having a director of football in this day and age. And they're just living off past glories, and they think that they can't even get players like Bruno Fernandes didn't want to go to Dybala didn't want to go to him in the summer. You got to pay 50 million for Wan-Bissaka. You got to pay 80 million for Harry Maguire, which doesn't fix your midfield problems. You've got McTominay and Matic in your midfield. You're still playing Juan Mata in the 10 position. You let Lukaku go but didn't replace him. You've only got Martial and Rashford. Martial's a class player, but Rashford's crap. But yeah, I mean, United are just an embarrassment at the end of the day. Woo! Cabellos just came on. Caberos, whatever. And he just having a pop, lad. Is that what Reds say, Pepper? Like they're gonna pull a Chelsea? So Gerrard's just at Rangers until Klopp leaves, and then Gerrard's coming in. I think Wan-Bissaka's got more potential to be a more complete defender and footballer than Kyle Walker at the end of the day. But, Kyle Walker was kind of one of the first new age type fullbacks to get forward, especially when he played at Tottenham. No, I don't think Stevie would be ready either. I don't think Scottish football is. I think Scottish football is comparable to like League One over here. Not, there's a lot of championship teams that would beat up on Celtic and Rangers. Son coming forward here, striding forward, going all the way, puts on the brakes, gets crowded out. Kane's going to be pissed about that one. Now Kolasinac drew the ball. I mean, we can say that Kyle Walker's a headless chicken, but he has won 2 Premier League titles, won the domestic treble. Pep wanted him, and if Pep wants you, at the end of the day, he's not really paying for your defensive prowess, is he? Now, what was I talking about? Well, Kyle Walker, yeah, I mean, he's going to get found out, and he's got kind of a hot head on his shoulders, and he's going to have to be filtered out eventually. But for what he does, and what Pep wants in his players, yeah. I mean, it's just like Zinchenko or Benjamin Mendy for a City. Like, I wouldn't take him at Everton because I think they're just too much going forward, and they don't think about the defensive side of the game that much. But you don't have to when you're Manchester City, do you? I think there's more goals in this game. I'm going to say it right now. The thing I think about Bobby Firmino that I really, really like is the fact that he does his job, but he constantly does it with a smile on his face because he knows exactly what he's supposed to do. Like, if he scores, I think he's happy that he scores like he did yesterday. But I think there's certain players that just love what they do. They're successful at their club level. They're successful at international level. They play in a position that they like. They're surrounded by good quality players that fit their play style. And so, he's just as happy to set up goals as he is to score goals. He has individual skill, like we saw a couple of weeks ago when he just brought that ball out of the air and went for the full volley. He's creative, but his link-up play and his positional skills and his ability to bring Mane and Salah into the game, I think is absolutely extraordinary. Any player could probably get the best out of Bobby Firmino if you put the right players around him and behind him. So yeah, he's not right for every team because not every team can provide the support for him that Brazil and Liverpool do. But no, absolutely gangster player. I mean, yeah. I mean, you're right about the verge. Of course, I mean, defend. I think centre back's obviously a lot of different position than playing a false number 9. But yeah, of course, Virgil van Dijk should get into most defenses in the world because he does exactly what he's supposed to do. He's fast. He's quick. He reads the game brilliantly. He's a leader. Barely ever gets dribbled by. Excellent positioning, excellent at his distances, can score from set pieces, has a decent shot on him. He's pretty much the total package. It's like the same, it's for a lot of players. You have to have what's around you. Like, it's just look at Everton, for example. Like, Cenk Tosun, when he plays for Turkey, when he played for Besiktas, and he played with another player up top with him, either a 4-4-2 or playing with a 4-4. Whoa! 2-2. 2-2. I'm not sure who got a touch on that. It looked like Guendouzi just floated the ball into the box. We'll see here more closely. Guendouzi picks it up, breaks the lines, which is fabulous, pulls it back, ball in. I think Obama Blood Clot Yang does get a touch. Yeah, oh yeah, he does. That's beautiful. See, that's what I'm talking about. That's clinical finishing. That's what you need. Lacazette and Aubameyang again, bailing them out. Their defense, absolutely garbage. Their midfield, not creative enough, and all this. But all it takes is class like Aubameyang, class like Lacazette, class like Harry Kane, class like Firmino and Salah, class like whoever. That's what you need. All right. Yeah, we got a game on our hands now, boys. But no, like I was saying about Cenk Tosun, like he doesn't get into our team or anything like that because we don't have the right players behind him at the moment for us to do that. If Sigurdsson has to play, we have to play kind of like how we did today. Tosun needs to play in a 4-4-2 or at least in a 4-4-1-1 with somebody running around him. Like if we had Tosun up top and Moise Kean trying to do the false-ish number 9 role, just pivoting from left to right, following the play from side to side, and Tosun got to drag the centre backs left and right because he's good in the air, he's a good finisher. We just don't create enough opportunities and enough chances and enough space for Tosun to play for us. So if we wanted to play a formation like that, we have our back five, you have Gomez and Delph in there, and then you've got Richarlison and Iwobi or Richarlison and Bernard kind of playing left and right midfield, for example. And I guess they can play on the wings. We've got a diamond in the middle there with Ken, Gomez and Delph. And then you've got Tosun up top and constantly not playing the lone striker, not playing, a hold-up type game most of the time, and having somebody really close to him that he can feed the ball into and receive it back quickly to make runs in behind. That's when you see Cenk Tosun. But we don't have the players to incorporate Tosun into our team right now. So he doesn't play. Oh, it's getting feisty out there now. It's getting feisty out there. Harry Winks in the book. Harry Winks in the book. I mean, here's the thing, right, Pepper? When City came to Everton, came to Goodison last season, they won. They won 2-0, obviously. But if you look at when they scored right before halftime of the first half, and they scored right before the end of the game. So, I mean, for 88 minutes, we played well defensively. We gave them some problems going at the back. It was pretty. I won't say it was an even game. We didn't have that much possession, but we didn't shit ourselves and hide and play in a low block with two banks of four and just weather the storm. But 2 lapses in concentration, 2 goals, and that's all it takes when you're playing quality like City. So we didn't shit ourselves, and neither did we when we went to Etihad either. Certain teams, will do that. But, I expect to lose versus Manchester City. Well, I mean, surely at the end of the day, Liverpool or teams that are challenging for the title, I'm sure that Liverpool supporters, deep down inside, or Manchester City supporters, you always want other teams to do well. Like, most top teams, like the top six, the big six, there's probably a lot of people that really pay attention to Wolves, really pay attention to Everton, really pay attention to Leicester, because you want them to be good, because you want them, because Liverpool would love us to take points off City, points off Tottenham, points off Chelsea, Arsenal, Man United. Like, you'd want an easy way. You'd want to have us win games, right? So we can take points away from you. So you'd want, I mean, I'd assume that whenever there's always talk about Everton breaking into the top six, Everton, being the seventh best team, Everton push for this, like, there's a top two, there's a clear top two of Manchester City, Liverpool, right? And then there's the other four fighting. Pepe! I thought when you put that in chat, Jeff, that he was going to score a goal, but wow. All right, boy. Don't bother keeping your head down. That was a strong shot, though. But yeah, the top two, Manchester and Liverpool, would want Everton to do well. They'd want Wolves to do well. They want Leicester to do well. So, I'm sure Liverpool supporters don't want Everton to win the league. But they know we're not going to challenge for the top two, not going to challenge for the top four, could possibly challenge for the top six. So if we can take points from, Oh yeah, no, we used to be top six. Yeah, don't get me wrong. We're only about 4 or 5 seasons removed from playing Champions League football, obviously. But transitionary period. Well, that's 82 million for you, isn't it, Jeff? I didn't even update the scores. Jeez. Okay, I am so sorry. Okay, 3-2. My score is now on. Oh, flag's up though. Never mind. Never mind. Oopsie. Of course that was no goal. Okay, well, I mean, not like it matters, but the scores are updated now. We're just more talking about footy though, right? Let's move myself over a little. There we go. Okay. Back to how it was. Back to how it was. 10 minutes to go. Good as an extension. No, there's a... Pepper, check out one of my videos. Go to my channel. Check out my videos. There's a virtual reality 3D walkthrough of it. So if you want to check out my video, me commenting on it, and take a look at it. I did a video on it. if you're interested. I like the Kelso, the Celso. Oh, look at Xhaka. How does Xhaka have the captain's armband? Come on. Beautiful by Mkhitaryan. Nasanech in. No. Nothing there. Is that better? Ah, okay, yeah. Move that over. Tsunami fodder. Well, you know, when those polar ice caps melt, it's going to rise up about 3 feet, so we're in trouble. We're in trouble. Dele Alli trying to get a cheap pen. Come on, lad. Okay, 6 minutes plus stoppage time to go. This 2-2 is looking pretty juicy. Oh, jeez. Sanchez with a poor header. If anybody with any class and not Mkhitaryan was on that, that'd have been fine. Pepe pulls it shot wide again. Oh, the Allianz Arena is a beautiful place to play your football. I'm sure it is. I like the light show they have there. I like the overall look of it. Yeah, but Mkhitaryan, come on, man. Yeah, look at Dele Alli just getting knocked out. What an overhyped wanker he is. I mean, the yellow wall's cool. Oh, it's kicking off now. It's kicking off. Socrates stirring the shit over there. Oh, it's just getting feisty here in North London now. Hey, you know Denway's there, blood. Oh, no, I wouldn't win anything. I would just get points in the... let me see, sorry. I was more focused on the fisticuffs that were going on here. There's the app, Super Brew app. It's just predictions. I don't know if you can win prizes at the end of the the season or what's going on. It's just through the Toffee TV thing. So, yeah. Bragging rights usually, but I mean for this week I got some decent points. I got exact score of the Leicester City Bournemouth game, exact score of the Manchester City Brighton game. I was close with the Burnley Liverpool. I was close with the Everton Wolves. So far I'm wrong with the Tottenham Arsenal. Well, I mean, it's like another version of fantasy football. Like I don't take fantasy football too seriously, but I like to be right. I like to test my football IQ based on fixtures and this and that. And the fact that I brought in Richarlison this week, had Luca Dean from the start. Bought Pookie in at the start of the season. I've got Alexander-Arnold and Robertson in my back four. Salah and Sterling, and also Vardy up top. So I mean, I just things like this that I just like, because I watch so much football and I'm so critical of football, and I obviously pay a lot of attention to Everton, and I obviously watch other games. Usually I watch 8 out of the 10 games per weekend, so I have a pretty good knowledge of what's going on. So it's just stuff that I like to. so I like to. Just test my skills against other people. And this week we're doing really well, FPL-wise and score prediction-wise. Didn't do that great last week, because I didn't see Tottenham bottling it against Newcastle. I didn't see... Yeah, Timu Puki sounds like some, Japanese weeb name. Oh, Timu Puki-san! Timu Puki-san, arigato. But no, it's a Premiership hat trick scorer, Timu Puki. So both teams going to say this is a good result. Tottenham threw away a 2-goal lead. Arsenal gave away 2 goals to. God, Dele Alli is such a fucking shitbag. The thing about Dele Alli, though, I think he's a lot better Fortnite video game player than he is an actual footballer. I'm not excited about Jeff, you get excited about the international break? I don't, especially when Everton come out and win and have a great performance like they did today. Good fight, good everything. But when we're on a run and we're so high and so many of our players are going to go away on international duty, I just don't like the international break. I really, really don't. Liverpool. Tottenham one last gasp. Oh, it's a shit ball from Sissoko. Yes, that's one of Sissoko's main problems, especially when you're a deep lying or central lying midfield player. Like we saw Sissoko against Liverpool when he had that one-on-one with Van Dijk, basically completely bottled it. Yeah, I mean, I get that part, Jeff, but, so who's going to be going away on international duty? Well, that's a yellow card then. If he's going to flop and dive like that, that's a fucking yellow card for simulation. But yes, I mean, Pickford's going to go away, Seamus is going to go away, Yerry Mina's going to go away, Michael Keane's going to go away, right? Luca Dean's going away. Richarlison's going to be gone, maybe, possibly. Sigurdsson's going to be gone. Iwobi, like, we've got a lot of international players, and if we're trying to bed them in and get them sorted like that, I just don't see. Well, Pep, you could say that they were two attackers, but come on, that's what I was saying about Sissoko. Like, Van Dijk had his body shape between the two and made, I don't know who it was, I don't remember who passed it to, it might have been Son, I don't know who it was, but passed it to Sissoko. But that was the best opportunity, right, was to face up, not let anybody get ahead of you, make him feed the ball to Sissoko and just hope that Sissoko bottles it, and he did. But no, great defending, and that's what Virgil does to you. Like, even on a 2-on-1, you still back Virgil van Dijk. That's another valid point, Jeff. That's why I put it out there. I think I'm kind of torn on the two of them. I don't like it. I don't get to get up here and watch Everton and talk to you guys and have a little bit of banter, a lot of thoughtful conversation. But it does give me. It was Son, okay, and you know. It's fine, and I don't really like watching international football anyway, because when some players go play for their country, they look at different players. Like, you look at players like Jesse Lingard, like, absolutely shit for Manchester United, and has been for 18 to 24 months. But when he plays for England, it looks like a completely different beast. Pepe, 82 million. Harry Kane flopping around. Spurs should be embarrassed. Champions League finalists, top 4 team, Harry Kane, captain of his country, one of the best strikers in the world, and goes flopping around like that. That's disgraceful. And that's like 2 minutes after Dele Alli was flopping around trying to get a foul. Like, go out there and win the game by yourself. Messi Lingard. Yeah. Just those two names in the same sentence is really, really funny. But I mean, I think that's another classic case of what's another problem at Manchester United is they're so hell-bent on playing their youth products and their young English talent that people forget that Jesse Lingard's like, 26, 27 now? He's been a professional for 8-9 years, been at the club for all that time, and is still a bag of wank on it, 98% of the time. He went through a little spell last season, obviously, where everything he did was great. He came to this place at the Emirates and did a little milli rocking, but other than that, absolute waste of fucking space as a player. I mean, I guess he's got his own clothing line. That's cool for him. I'm sure he's got his own recording studio and all that, and he's doing all the stuff outside of football that makes money and makes him look like a good brand. I'm sure his Twitter followers are up and his social media demographics are fucking fabulous, but as a player, average at best, championship player at best. Sissoko, of all these players that you don't want to get the ball on to get on the end of these offensive flurries by Tottenham, it's Moussa Sissoko. Absolute bottle job. Well, can you be a bottle job though? Can you be a bottle job if that's not one of your techniques? Like, it's like if Schneiderlin got into those positions for us, right? Schneiderlin just breaks forward, breaks through the lines, one-on-one with the defender. I wouldn't feel awful if Schneiderlin missed something like that, because it's not what his game is. Game over. 2-2. Point shared. Everton looking good after that. Aubameyang is tired, flat out. But yeah, it's all over. The football's over for the weekend, lads. It's over for 2 weeks, and that's international football is your choice of what to watch. It's not mine, but some good games today. Lots of goals, all that stuff. So, for Evertonians, for you, Jeff, for those, I'll have my match reaction out later today. Maybe that'll be tonight for you fine people, because it's about almost 6:30 over there. Pepper Red, I really appreciate you coming in for the Everton game itself. Glad to see that not all Reds are super biased and super, out of control. I really value everybody's opinions. What they say about football, good facts, good stats, good conversation. If you know any Evertonians, Pepper Red, that you might think would enjoy this channel, nothing wrong with letting them know. But as for all that, I've done 4 hours of streaming today. And I hope you all have a good, safe rest of the weekend, and I will see you all later.